Right, today we're getting into dirty money, how it gets laundered, how much of it there actually is, and how AI is quietly changing the game for the people trying to stop it. Now here's the thing, dirty money touches every bank, every payment firm, every business that handles cash. Nobody's immune, and when it goes wrong, the fines are savage. Take Barclays. The Financial Conduct Authority, the FCA, hit them with a £42 million fine last year. Two customers, WealthTech, a wealth manager that wasn't even authorised to hold client money, and Stunt & Co., a London gold dealer that turned out to be a conduit for one of the biggest laundering operations this country has ever seen. £266 million washed through a Bradford jury firm called Fowler Oldfield, believed to be the biggest money laundering case the UK has ever prosecuted. The method was nothing fancy. Carriers from Glasgow, Manchester, Merseyside, sports bags, carrier bags, takeaway boxes, even children's toys stuffed with cash. At its peak, £1.7 million a day was walking through the door. 4 men went down, 43 years between them. The catch? Only one of them was actually in court. Another had actually run to Colombia, and a third was quietly taken out of a private hospital by his family before the trial even started. So how big is this really? The National Crime Agency, the NCA, reckons over £100 billion gets laundered through the UK every year. Now, to put that into context, that's bigger than the entire defence budget. 12 billion of that is physical cash, actual notes moving around the system. The Fowler Oldfield approach just scaled across the whole country. Over in the States, regulators dropped $1.1 billion in anti-money laundering fines last year, another $238 million in sanctions penalties on top, and that's before I get to the big one. In 2024, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, known as FinCEN, dropped a $1.3 billion fine on TD Bank. Their total bill across all agencies came to over $3 billion. The charges involved fentanyl money, narcotics, and terror financing flowing straight through their accounts. In England and Wales, money laundering prosecutions jumped 36% in a year, nearly 7,000 cases, over 3,500 convictions. The appetite to go after this is growing fast. So where's the money actually hiding? Everywhere you'd expect, and plenty of places that you wouldn't. Encrypted apps, crypto exchanges, social platforms, mainstream and obscure, forums most people have never heard of, and of course, the deep and dark web sitting underneath all of it. And 70% of fraud hitting UK citizens doesn't even start here. It's coming from abroad. Different jurisdictions, different laws, different languages. That's the investigator's headache. Because that's what you're up against. Too much data, too little time. Criminals working across borders, gaming the compliance checks, hiding in the noise. Manual investigations simply can't keep up anymore. Which is where OSINT comes in, open source intelligence. AI-powered open source intelligence scrapes, correlates, surfaces, pulls from social media, the dark web, company registries, court records, leaked databases, billions of data points into one picture, at a speed that no human team could ever match. In crypto, it tracks the overlaps, matches wallet activity against social footprints, the little tells criminals leave behind when they think nobody's watching, because they always leave something. Crypto exchanges alone copped $927 billion in US fines last year. The regulators are finally catching up with the sector. Look at Interpol's Operation Haichi last year. 40 countries, 5 months, romance scams, sextortion, investment fraud, the lot. The numbers they pulled back are worth pausing on. 342 million recovered in cash, 97 million in other assets, 68,000 bank accounts blocked, nearly 400 crypto wallets frozen. That's the kind of result you get when you combine old-fashioned investigation with OSINT at scale. This is why banks need it. Cuts through the shell companies, the nominee directors, all the layers criminals hide behind. Shows you who somebody actually is, not who they say they are on the paperwork. But here's the important bit. The AI does the analysis. Humans still make the call. The professional always has the final say, and that's exactly how it should be. That's it for today. If you're into the investigative side of things, stick around. More OSINT breakdowns are coming, along with true crime, paranormal, and everything you can imagine in the investigative world. See you in the next one.